Gotta lower that mic. Good morning, everyone.
Out of the rain and inside the Multnomah County boardroom.
Thank you so much for being here. I'm Jessica Vega-Peterson.
City and county leaders talked of new plans for addressing homelessness.
And we've been working intensely to develop this approach and a new way forward for our community.
That includes their proposal to extend the Joint Office of Homeless Services for 3 more years. That's the county-run program formed in 2016 to oversee funding for homeless services. The current contract expires in 6 months.
The proposal we're sharing with our commissioners turns the page on a relationship that has been fraught with misunderstanding and mistrust, and worst of all, a system that is not as effective as it should be.
And with this comes a long list of what some would call lofty new goals, including identifying the number of people experiencing homelessness separate from the point-in-time count and getting half of them off the streets by December 2025.
We are setting bold goals of achieving new and attainable measurable outcomes.
Now, let's not kid ourselves. None of this will be easy, but we are far more likely to succeed when we work together.
Under this new agreement, the city and county will be required to report updates on this work and publicly share how much money is being spent and where it's all going. As for how much the city will give the county, that's still unclear.
We don't have that answer yet.
There will also be a new oversight committee called the Homelessness Response System, along with a goal of making sure 75% of the people housed stay indoors for at least 2 years.
We need to urgently provide more shelter options and get people into safe spaces.
We hear so much about affordable housing, more shelter, but the underlying issue out there is addiction. How can we possibly house all these people without enough addiction services?
You said it right. You said addiction is the significant issue we're facing. Data shows 2 things to be true, and that is the longer that people are on the streets, the more likely they are to develop a substance use disorder, and the more likely they are to develop mental health afflictions. That being true, then part of the answer has to be to get people out of those unsanctioned, potentially dangerous, potentially squalid conditions in unsanctioned camps and into something else.
All right, so clearly this is all just a work in progress, and as the mayor said, it's not going to be easy. Now, I know many of you believe the city should just stop funding the joint office altogether, so we asked the mayor about that, and he says they can't do that because they need the county's support when it comes to addressing homelessness. But that being said, their long-term goal is to have everything to do with homelessness here at the city level. That's things like Safe for Us villages and those large sanctioned mass campsites will be run under the county. The county will run them because they're the ones that have the money to manage them. But again, this all won't happen overnight and still has to be approved by city council and county commissioners. Brittany.
And Blair, we know you will be following every step of the way. Thanks so much.